They do like candy bars. It's impressive.
Wow, I did not know that. I'm going to tell my husband because he's like, you have to try these pretzels. I'm like, I don't think I can have those pretzels. And he just raves about these Dots pretzels. So
They're great. They're phenomenal.
So that's amazing. We love it. Well, you know, you guys are in the Uptown area, and Wakame is actually, I think, delivering through Bite Squad or somebody. And every once in a while, that's what, in fact, speaking of Elijah, my beloved son, somebody just texted me and said, great hat, Marnita. So thank you for following us on Facebook Live. This is a great hat. And it just came today. And I don't know, do you know whose hat this is? Who I'm manifesting on my head? Well, the fabulous bag, the fluffy bag that he sent me, I'm a Hello Kitty fan. And so my son gave me a weekend bag and a Hello Kitty hat for Mother's Day, but it got delayed due to, COVID-19. The reason we're all here instead of in a room together having a good dinner. Want to remind all of you here who are with us on the show that, of course, Weather Together is open to the public, and we are recording this on Facebook Live. And, well, you don't even get to tell us that you don't want to be in it because you agreed to be here. But I still make a general announcement anyway. I want to say super excited about two things. One is Decky White Coco and White Chocolate, also known as the Back Podcast, the Back Pocket Podcast team, who we met in December and have become great partners and great friends with. They are amazing podcast producers. They have their own studio, and the way we met them was that they were hoping that if people who needed their voices lifted up, they had a studio, and they are willing to work with people on a sliding scale basis to help you produce your podcast. And so we will throw up how to reach them on our Facebook Live when the video goes up live after this. I think you can also look them up on Instagram. What's your Insta handle?
It's at the Back Pocket Podcast.
At the Back Pocket Podcast. They're awesome. We couldn't be happier with partners. So Decky and White Chocolate will be actually having a conversation. Decky, White Cocoa, and White Chocolate will be having a conversation with us in a moment. But first, our special guest. I've had the great honor to get to work with Coco and Lala as we launched Kitchen Not So Confidential, first as a community cast where we actually welcome people to our virtual table, our digital table, to have a conversation about what inspired us in food. So I'm going to let Coco and Lala introduce themselves. Tell us all a little bit about your show, what's your philosophy, what you're up to. Tell us about you at this table today.
It's funny because, so I'm Coco and
I'm Lala.
And we've known each other for many, many years. I'm not going to say, because then that will date us. And you're not going to believe us anyway, because.
Black no crack.
Right. You're not going to believe us, so I'm not going to date us. But, we got together around our birthdays, which are about 5 days apart. And,
when are your birthdays? Not just about when are your birthdays then, ladies?
Well, my birthday is July 1st.
Nice.
And mine is July 6th.
Nice.
And so we got together and we went live, just randomly, no heads up, nothing. We went live to talk about her music, my YouTube channel, and tart cherry juice. And that video got over 1,000 views in about a day, and people kept commenting weeks later, and it was like, they like the information that we're bringing them. Maybe we should do this again. And we went live randomly again and got the same similar reviews. And we decided to open a page because it was easier to keep up with all the comments coming in on one page. And we watched this documentary called What the Health. And it was an eye-opener to us about making sure that we're taking better care of our health and being more intentional about what we're eating. And as we were deciding on what we were going to do with our own individual journeys, I decided to go vegan or vegetarian, and I eat a lot of vegan food. And Lala, who had been vegetarian off and on, decided to go vegan or plant-based. And so when you're seeing the first episodes of our show, we're literally in the kitchen like, okay, what are we going to eat? We literally had no clue. So when we started the show, it was for friends and family to watch in case they wanted to try something, or if they wanted to try to give up meat or try to give up dairy. And so those were the first times we were ever trying those recipes ever in our lives, was live on camera. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. We would do product reviews. And so if one of us didn't like it, we would say, hey, this is not good. I have walked off camera so many times and spit something out because
True.
Lala
Very
pulled
true.
it out of her purse and was like, here, try this. I'm like, what is that? And why is it in your purse? And so our show has really transformed into something that people can relate to, because as all these products are coming out, and sometimes the price tag is kind of high on them, and they're like, okay, do I want to spend that kind of money on that? And I don't know if it's going to taste good. I don't know if it's going to fill me up. I have no idea if my family's going to like it. And so that's kind of where we started. I'm going to let Lala finish the journey from there. But that's really the start of Coco and Lala.
La 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 la. Oh,
I don't know. Is she frozen?
Are you frozen, Lala?
I think she's frozen. Well, I'll finish the story. So we, Lala, let me know when you.
She just fell out of the sky.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Coco.
Back.
Lala's back.
Okay, Lala, do you want to pick up the story from there? Or do you want me to finish?
I don't know where you stopped. I was frozen
You're
in
talking
time.
about your story.
I was frozen in time. You're great. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll finish. So, about 3 weeks into our Facebook show, we started getting interviews, and people started asking us questions we never even thought of, like, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? And we were like, we have no clue. So of course we said what everybody says. We want to go to Food Network. We want to be on Ellen. That's what everybody says. So we just started saying, all these wonderful, amazing, big things. And as we started speaking things started happening. So about a year after our show started, we were actually contacted by the radio station, and they said, hey, have you ever thought about having your own radio show? And we're thinking, well, no, because we didn't go to school for broadcasting, and we've never worked at a radio station, even as an intern. So we didn't know it was an option, but absolutely, we'll try it. And so now we have the hottest vegan and vegetarian talk radio show in the whole entire country. We get to interview a lot of amazing celebrity guests and hear the latest plant-based news on the show. And so the heart and core of Coco and Lala is just spreading information and teaching people how to be more intentional about what they're eating. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the Black community. So it's very important that we are taking these things that we're learning and doing them at home, which is why usually when we do cooking demos out in certain communities, it's free to the public, because we don't want that to be a hindrance from them getting this very, very vital information. We're in the middle of a health crisis right now, COVID-19. Unless you're talking about vitamin D from the sun, the way you boost your immune system is from the inside out, and you do have to be intentional about what you're eating and how to do that with food.
That is great. What I love is how all of us kind of found each other, because each of us have an aligned or similar mission. I don't know if you guys are all feeling that.
Yeah, I feel it.
This is what change looks like, by the way. It doesn't look like all one gender, one all ethnicity, one whatever. It looks like people who care coming together. And I just love your blue. I got to get my blue up here too. I'm sorry. I was like, see, I have my thing on a higher plane. Hi, Blue. Blue and I are friends. Hello, Blue. My blue snowball.
It's just funny how the audio gets like super clear and super nice when you bring it close to your face. It's like it's loving you back almost.
It's a really good little mic. That's why I really like my blue snowflake. Sponsor us.
Love it. Great plug.
Sponsor Back Pocket Podcast, Coco and Lala and Marnita's Table. Thank you, Blue Snowflake. Look, we're expanding your audience into communities of color and Gen Z communities. You want us. You need us on this wall. Anyway, I'm going to move forward. Thanks for introducing yourself. Now, every show, we wanted to have a through line. because we had so many different topics: gratitude, comedy, kitchen, not so confidential. And these are very much in the spirit of the table, where sometimes you're coming to talk about art or something playful. Other times you're coming to talk about the state of healthcare or reducing the number of kids of color in the criminal justice system. And so we wanted to have the ability to have all of our guests answer some questions. So all of us are going to round robin 3 questions back to back. And we already kind of do, we always start with, but seriously. And we get to hear a little bit more about who you are and why you're getting dizzy with us. And we heard a little bit about Coco and Lala, and I'd love it if you wanted to share, like, why do you like Marnita's Table? Why did you come on our show? Why would you have the most successful radio show in town. Decky and White Chocolate have, or in the country, on veganism and vegan food and vegetarian food. Decky, White Coco, and White Chocolate up here have the Back Pocket podcast production and have over 250 podcasts. Why are you guys here on our second podcast? What made you come to the table? Why are you supporting our work and the idea of bringing people together over food? And I'm going to go to Decky, White Coco.
Absolutely. I really like the perspective that you guys deliver and that you work so hard to kind of share with the world, Marnita. I mean, not only are you connecting with all kinds of different people in the world, having these genuine conversations and gathering data, but you're doing a lot of research on the back end and doing some really cool work, and not only not keeping that for yourself, but just sharing that with the world, knowing that it's going to make a difference. I really appreciate that. And I can get behind something like that, where you're providing something that's far beyond something that is monetary. And I just think it's really cool how you're doing it, and more importantly, why you're doing it.
You know the rule, you throw it to somebody else.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Veganish.
We all know why I'm here. But I will say I'm happy to be in partnership with you all. Back Pocket, honestly, I believe in the power of media and what you can do when you project positivity far and wide. So it's honestly an honor every single week. And I'm veganish, so you guys already know, like, I'm a huge fan.
Biggest support.
I've been with the table for, roughly, oh my goodness. Well, 5 years officially, but more than that unofficially. And it matters to me that we bring people together who are different. I was in when I was a teenager, so just happy to be here with all of you guys. I'm going to pass it to Coco.
I'm here because I love the inclusiveness of Marnita's Table. Like you had mentioned earlier, it's not just about one gender or one race. We've been on cast with you where it's people from India. I mean, I haven't been on a platform that brings so many people from so many different places and so many walks of life as I have when I'm with Marnita. She knows how to bring people together, which is why she has the hashtag Weather Together. And I think that's a very appropriate title for what she's doing. She's awesome. And I'm going to pass it to White Chocolate.
We lost your sound, White.
I can hear him speaking in the next room. I can kind of paraphrase for you if you want. I think he's just really proud of what you guys are putting together. I hope he fills in though. I don't want to paraphrase for him, you know.
Did your sound come back, White?
Is it back?
Yes.
Yeah, you're back. Your mic's on. Your mic is hot.
Mic is hot. Awesome. Thank you, Coco. Who I am, I'm white chocolate tonight, but really I'm Andrew. I'm average Andy. I'm just your ordinary guy who craves the creation story. And that's why I love coming every Thursday night and listening into these conversations that we're having. I get to learn from each individual and how they came up and what was their driving force to start what they're doing today. And it's just really cool to just sit here, listen, observe, and, be a critical thinker in all of this. And then I get to do the behind the scenes work. I get to produce this and I get to share it with everyone. So I actually I like to selfishly say I'm winning the most because I get to, be the producer and listen and kind of sit back and enjoy the ride. So thank you so much, Marnita. I always thank you so much because you allow us to be a part of this. And I like to pass it to Lala.
So I would say, I mean, in these divisive times, I think it's amazing to have a space to just talk and to hear other perspectives from all over the world. And I think the one thing, and I've never met Marnita in person, but I feel like I have, and she's like this auntie that you just want to just lay on her shoulder.
You froze. She was saying all sorts of nice things about me and she froze.
Oh no.
No, really, but more about how wonderful I am.
She just wanted
No, please.
You know what she's doing? She's taking time out to lay on your shoulder.
Yes. Oh, she's back. Hey, Lala, are you back? And this is one of the things that we're learning, to have patience in this time of COVID with everybody on their broadband. We were in a call today, like people were getting kicked out, and we were like, just chill. You'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. I actually think the real reason Lala loves us. Thank you for that wonderful word that you want to lie on my shoulder. It's right here.
No, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
we can hear you now, love.
Okay, I got to get this, because Marnita is like this auntie that you just kind of lay on her shoulder and you can just talk to her all day. Did you guys get that? Because that is the truth. It's like she just seems so warm, and I've never met her in person, but I know when I do, Marnita, I'm gonna lay on your shoulder and we're just gonna talk and we're gonna have tea and good food.
And
I'm
I'm
excited.
gonna make you the best vegan meal you've ever had.
I can't wait.
That's the other thing I have to say about Lala, because Lala, Coco has been to my house. I think you've had snacks here. You've been at the table many times. So Coco and I have seen each other at IRL many, many times. But Lala, I only know from the show, from things you guys throw up on Facebook. So I'm super excited to get to know Lala. But what's really fun is I watch Lala sometimes when we're talking, and I start talking about food, and I start pulling out my spices or my vinegars. And I sometimes take everybody into the kitchen with my computer, and I just watch, and it's like, Lala, yeah, sure, I'm an auntie, but Lala just wants to come and get busy with me in the kitchen. Like, Lala's running a field trip, like an actual field trip to the table, like, so I can feed her, because sometimes I talk about a dish like, wait, what did you do? And that makes me happy. Because I'll tell you something, anybody who cooks loves it when somebody loves to eat their food. And they just do. Like, we cook, when we cook, we want people to love it. So I'm going to start the second round, and I'm going to actually start with Lala this time. Lala, what is If They Only Knew? And it's all in the theme of Kitchen Confidential, so Not So Confidential. So what is If They Only Knew?
If they only knew that I am not the best chef. Like, I can cook, but like, I mean, Coco is like, my food is good. Okay, let me just say that. Not that I'm horrible or anything. Let me not say that. Coco, do not laugh, because I'm not. If they only knew that, let me fix this up, because it's making me sound like I can't cook, because I can burn, like, not burn up food, but burn in a good way.
Do you know that expression, White and Decky? Girl can burn, Lala can burn.
I can burn. I don't follow recipes. If they only knew. I refuse to follow a recipe. I just do what I feel like doing, and I put a little there, this and that. If they only knew.
So you're saying you're like a trailblazer.
Yes, all day. What do I need a recipe for? Because I can burn. I don't need no recipe.
It's funny that you bring that up like that, because when you guys say burn, I'm like in shock, and I have like flashbacks of me burning my eggs, like, because that's the only thing I'm really trying to make. So
it's a Black expression. It's like,
yes,
that girl is hot in the kitchen.
Yeah,
yes,
that girl's got the sticks.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
And now here's the other thing. Now, when I said that, it probably reminded Coco of the time I almost burned up her kitchen.
Yes,
but that was
about to say that. That was my if they only knew. This girl came to my house and tried to burn my kitchen down. If they only knew. There was a fire.
I didn't call your
Wait,
name.
can we get the full story?
I didn't call your name, Coco. So you're not next. They don't need to know.
I'll say
No. That's a really good transition, though. That's a really good transition. You just triple down on
All
that.
right, Coco, I'll pass the baton to you. Don't make me look crazy now.
okay, if they only knew.
You're doing well enough on that by yourself, Lala.
Right. If they only knew that when she said she could burn, she literally meant that literally, figuratively. She came in my house right before a show, before the camera was on, and there was a fire behind us. And I was like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. You're fine. Your kitchen's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry.
What's
But
really
they didn't
funny?
get to see it. Y'all did not get to see it. So that's
I wish it was
if
on
they
camera.
only knew
Oh.
because the camera was not on.
All cooks have that story, Coco. Because
I have not.
Thank you, Marnita. Thank you,
I have
Auntie.
not.
one night I was
If
cooking.
I did it in my own house, but she did it in my house. That's different. You don't go to somebody else's house and try to burn down the kitchen. You do it in your own house.
You know what it was? It was the gas stove. That's because I'm not used to cooking with gas. I know that's horrible for cooks. That's why I say I can burn on an electric stove.
Okay.
Nice.
I ain't fooling with no gas. Okay. That's okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coco. I'm done.
But gas makes food taste better. I feel like it cooks evenly. Like I love my gas stove, but
Although it's very bad for global warming, and I love my 6-burner gas, restaurant range, Wolf range that Uber gave me a number of years ago. But in fact, it's really bad for the environment. So if you're giving up meat for the environment, you should definitely give up your gas range for the environment.
Ooh,
I gotta
some
baby
cakes.
step it. I gotta baby step that.
And it's true. Like, it's hard. Like, it's like, what will you give up for the environment? It's like, I have to give up my 6-burner. The very funny thing about burning down the house, though, so we threw a party a number of years ago. It was a Moroccan feast. And I've talked about some of my Moroccan things that I do that are vegan, but this happened to be a dish. It was Marrakesh prime steak skewers, but it called for a block of steak and then a block of fat and like you marinated it. And the idea, it was the kind of thing you'd find on the braziers which are outdoor grills in Morocco. Like if you were walking it was Marrakesh skewers. And I got them going on the grill. Well, the idea is as they heat up, all the fat renders out and it leaves behind this really succulent meat. And I come in the kitchen, we have 12 people around a low table. Everybody's sitting. We're all eating with our hands. I go into the kitchen with my husband and I notice that the grill has caught fire and it's underneath like our little porch thing. And the flames are shooting up like 15 feet in the air.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
literally a conflagration outside my window. And I say to my husband casually, like, honey, we need another bottle of wine from downstairs. You know, we just had a new guest come, grab a couple wine glasses. And then if you have some time, the grill's on fire outside. And he turns and he looks at it. And he just literally, he's like, what? He's a journalist and he goes, talk about burying the lead. Like the house is on fire.
Yeah.
We need to get another bottle of white wine open. So anyway, so if they only knew white chocolate, what if they only knew about you?
Well, I got to stick down with burning down the house. That theme is it's fire right now. It's burning. And if they only knew that Decky White Coco habitually forgets to turn off the oven every single time he uses it. And our oven just recently broke. We had to get a new one. So if they only knew that Decky White Chocolate is not good at turning off the oven when he's done using it.
Yeah, it's an ugly scene. I remember the day. I think it was June 6, 2018. We had just moved. It was 5 days into being in the house. I had a Jack's Pizza firing up at like 1 a.m. on a Friday. And I just left it in there all night, and it just burnt. And I think I woke up to like an absolutely torched black ash dish in the oven. I was
Oh
like,
my
that's
gosh.
not good. I was like, oh,
Doesn't it?
oh no. I think those were those were my single words. Oh no.
Oh, no.
As opposed to it was oh no.
You know, I'm gonna have to come to Decky White Chocolate's defense because I have not gone and anything's been burnt to ash. But you know, I get a little busy. You know, I'll put something in the oven and you know, then Coco will call, and then you know, I start talking, and then I'll go make a purse or I'll do something, and then my husband's like, yeah, laundry, whatever. He's like, you know, you left this oven on. You know, you left the eye on. I'm like, no, I didn't. You know, like 4 hours later, you know, whatever, an hour later. So I get it. It's, you know, I think there needs to be some type of button that says, you know, like when you leave the car door open, like the ovens, and there probably are. I need one of those ovens that like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, that's what our
You
oven
know,
will turn
something
off
like that.
automatically. Our oven will turn off
Oh.
automatically if you don't set a cook time.
A new one.
Yeah, if you don't set it, but if you set it.
After the one that Decky destroyed, the new
Yes.
oven.
You know what's really funny is our land, like we rent this house from an agency who, like, a landlord probably, he never hears anything about the house, but he actually heard about the podcast because we repaneled the third floor of our house into a studio. And he found us on Facebook, and he left us a comment from a podcast we did with our roommates during quarantine. And he's like, I now understand why you guys need a new oven, that you never pay the water bill. And he like threw something else in there. And he didn't say he was our landlord, but we always get mail from this guy. And then we crossed the name over with the comment on our YouTube channel. And we were like, no way, our landlord just watched our 3-hour podcast. All of our roommates in quarantine and flamed us.
That's a oh no for sure.
And Becky, did you do your own? If you only knew, and Deaconish, have you done yours?
Not yet.
Okay. So if they only knew, Veganish, what do we need to know about you?
Since we're on the fire topic, okay, so I've never, oh gosh, where's the wood? Okay, I don't usually burn things on the stove, but I did something really embarrassing the other day. And since everybody's being so honest, guys, I don't know, like, if it was because it was really late at night or like if I was just that hungry. And I haven't done this in over 20 years. I left the fork and I put it in a microwave. I have not done that since I was like 4. And luckily, luckily, something happened in my brain that I was like, oh shoot. And like I ran and got it in time. But it's okay. Like, I don't think it could get any more embarrassing than that because children know not to do that.
Have you ever put a peep in the microwave?
A what?
A pimp?
A peep? Yeah,
A
like
peep?
during Easter.
I thought you said a pimp. I'm like,
No, please,
where would
no.
I get a pimp and how would I put him in the microwave? I was
Look,
trying to figure that out in every direction.
if we need to put pimps in the microwave too, then that's what we got to do. You know, I'm not going to throw it by you. But peeps, someone who's got screen share capabilities, Google Peeps, they are these little marshmallow.
this little yellow thing. You know they.
Yeah, you get them during Easter. They're like little.
Yes.
I don't know. There's.
Do they melt?
Little bunnies or little.
Do they turn into lava when you put them in the microwave? What happens?
Explode?
Yeah, no, they blow up, like they get all crazy big.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's cool. Here, let me see if I can peep in
My
microwave.
nephews will
Start
love
there.
this.
Well, I got second degree burns from popcorn kernels one time. Has that ever happened to anybody?
Well, actually, I've never gotten it from popcorn kernels, but once when I was young. So I kind of grew up, like I was kind of a Cinderella child. Like my family was not necessarily all that nice to me. And my mom was kind of mean and she kind of thought children were to wash dishes. And I was the baby of 8. And so we always had cast iron skillets, and you don't scrub, you don't put soap in them. You clean them on a hot stove, you oil them, you put them on a stove to dry so they don't rust. And I was probably 7 or 8. This is when we come to I was a poor black abused child part of the show. I grabbed it. My mother from the bedroom where she was lying with the compress over her head was like, what do I smell? And I put the cast iron skillet on an electric range on high. And cast iron really conducts heat. And so it was literally red hot. Like it wasn't like it was no longer black.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't matter how hot cast iron gets. I could have just turned it off and left it and it would eventually cool down. But I was 7. And so I grabbed it with
no.
And I ended up with a contact burn, like big blisters, but it was snowing outside and I didn't want to tell my mom. So for I wouldn't come in the house until 11 at night. I just went and sat outside in the snow with my hand in the snow. And my mother was not that evil. Like she was a nurse. Like she was a lunatic, but she wasn't like a child abuser. But I was so afraid. Like I think sometimes when we're little kids, like we're afraid of things. And so, so that kind of thing. Have you done yours, Decky, or was that part of you or did White Chocolate basically do yours when you burnt down the whole house?
I don't know. As a good host, I try to involve myself in everybody's other, if you only knew. But I do have one. If you'd like me to share.
Oh, we'd like you to share, Decky.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to share.
Decky.
If you only knew that. Well, actually, if you only knew that I ate PB&Js pretty much for lunch for like 2 weeks straight just to not have to go to the grocery store and spend money, you guys would probably think I'm a psycho. You guys would think I would be unfit for this conversation if you only knew that.
I think you just grew up in the hood.
See, the thing is, Decky played football.
It is what it is.
So you do know some black people, right?
Fried bologna sandwich, whatever you got to do to survive.
Right. I found a formula that was winning for me. I was like, wow, I don't have to cook or do anything or even go to the grocery store. I can just buy 2 loaves of bread, an extra large PB, like peanut butter, and then some jelly. And it's not even the stuff that you need to spread it with a knife. You just have the little squirt bottle and you just slap that together every day. I was like, that's way easier than anything else. And
that's somehow I got a feeling like I visualized you playing Akon Smack That as you were smacking together your sandwich, like your PB&J. Like I actually got this vision of like, I don't know. It was a thing.
No, I like that. And like on the beat drop, I'm like putting them together, and that's just like Monday.
Not the beat drop, exactly.
Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, like I'm just eating out with my friends. That's a TikTok. Good job.
Hey, whatever works.
So, Coco, what was I thinking? What could you say about what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you?
I don't know. This is a difficult one for me because when I cook, keeping it in the kitchen, when I cook, I just throw stuff in and I smell it and I taste it. I can't think of what was I thinking. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to pass this to
Well, I've done some crazy things. So every once in a while back in the day, like, and now I don't even know if I could do it physically, but that I'm 58, but I was once on the board of a small theater company. Shout out to Margolis Brown Theater Company, Carrie and Tony Brown, Margolis Brown, and love them. And they were doing this opening and they didn't have a lot of budget. And they wanted to do an after party. And this was well before the table. So probably 2002, 2003. And 300 people were coming to the opening. And I decided in my little kitchen that I should cook the food for 300 people by myself and then deliver it. This was before I had like catering buckets and and as I was filling meatballs like in my lap as I was driving to the place, I was thinking, what the hell am I thinking? That's actually A true story. So Lala, what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Oh my goodness. What was I thinking? Oh, that is so hard. I'm a daredevil when it comes to the kitchen. So I haven't really tried anything where I was like, what the heck was I thinking when it comes to food that I can really think of at this point. I'm trying to think off the top. No, I can't think of anything. I'm gonna have to think about it and come back. I'm gonna have to send it to Veganish.
I am over here laughing hysterically at Stacey Bell's comment in response to what I said before. My daughter heated a boiled egg, already boiled. She reheated it in the microwave and put it in her mouth, and it exploded in her mouth. So I shouldn't be too bad about putting the microwave or putting the fork in the microwave. Okay, cool. But what was I? What was I thinking this past week? So stupid. I was trying to make vegan cookies, which did not work out. But I thought that if I balanced it perfectly in the freezer so that it would cool down, like on top of things, it would be fine when I opened it. I don't know why I thought that was gonna happen. So of course I opened up the freezer, and every single thing had cookie dough all over it. And it took me hours. And I will never do that ever again. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, you know? It happens. I'm gonna pass it to Lala though.
You're passing it back to me?
Wait, Lala, pass it to me. Lala, pass it to me. I'm gonna pass it to
we got
I'm gonna come back to you, Coco.
Yeah, you can pass it to white Coco if you need. I'm here. I'm wide open.
You're wide
Downfield. Just throw it to me. I'm here.
But I did think of
All right,
something.
let's do it.
You found something. Well, you hold that baton then, woman.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. I was up late. I don't know why this only happens when you're up late. That's how you know you should be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up late, and I was scrolling on the internet, of course, and I came across something that's called a Kool-Aid pie. And I said, I like Kool-Aid. And now they turned it into a pie. And I was like, what in the world? And there was all these pretty colors, because everybody knows Kool-Aid is the bomb. And it comes in red and blue and grape and all these amazing flavors, right? So I was like, oh, man, I want this pie tonight. So I talked my husband into going to the grocery store late at night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And he came home. And I made this Kool-Aid pie. It was like Kool-Aid and like condensed milk or something, and Cool Whip or something like that. And you set it up in this graham cracker pie crust. And we're up here, and I made two different flavors. And we're up here, like me and my husband and the kids, and we're eating Kool-Aid pie at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And the reason why I say, what was I thinking? Because that pie was so darn good. It was like, why did I make this in the middle of the night? This is irresistible. I want this every day. And so that's my what was I thinking, because if you guys, I know it sounds crazy, but it worked, and you're going to crave that like day in and day out. So that's what I say, what was I thinking? Why would I go and make something like that in the middle of the night, and now I want it again?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, what I love about that, Coco, is that is the kind of food that I call trailer park love food. Like I don't call it like trash. It's about love, right? But it's trailer park love. Like, it's like you live in a trailer park, but you got love all day long, and that's what that food is. I now need some. And by the way, you notice like the first 3 flavors she mentioned weren't flavors; they were colors.
Colors.
Kool-Aid doesn't actually red. Like, they're red, they're blue. I'm like,
purple.
All different flavors.
That's what we call it. It does not have flavor.
Yeah.
It's just blue and red. That's the flavor.
So when you have some people up here, some people who came from
love
humble
it.
beginnings.
Oh, no, we've had an overload.
Beginnings. So who hasn't
We
gone on what was I
we made it
thinking?
to the top, right? We made it from the bottom. Now we're here.
So who
That's how
who
it's
hasn't gone on what was I thinking?
I'm gonna pass it to Decky White Coco.
Oh, okay. I have a very special one for you guys. So recently, I had okay, so this is my first week working from home, and I know I'm the guy who's like late to the party on all this. Like, I've been working a construction job the last 2 years on the same project, and we finished, and then they gave me a week off, so I've just been working from home doing back pocket stuff. And I feel like every other hour I look at my short list of things that I wrote down that I should do this week, and I was just like, what am I thinking? I don't need to do that. Like, I could just go do hot yoga. Like, I can go for a walk. I can go bike ride at 6:30 in the
Do you
morning.
actually do hot yoga, Decky?
No. Ask it. Andrew, please vouch. Andrew, please vouch for what we just did about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I walked down after a family Zoom call, and Decky was getting hot yoga on with core power on the screen with our other roommate.
I have a question about this because I thought hot yoga has to be like 90 degrees in the room or something. So I'm trying to figure out how this is working.
Right, Deck, I'll jump in here. I think the hot yoga stems
the whole
from
thing about the fire in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think the oven may still have been on.
Okay.
And it's on.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I cut in. I didn't.
Yeah, I'll also
really have to
say
finish that, but it was
we
a
turned our
really
AC
good
off,
thought.
actually. Our air filter's broken, so we just coined it hot yoga.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't
Right.
understand
No,
it,
it's good
but
to
okay.
catch you up to speed because some of these things
Thank
that I
you.
say aren't always, they don't always make the most sense,
I mean,
Right.
I was thinking you guys were in the kitchen with the oven open, the oven door open, and you up there doing
Right.
whatever. And I can't even do the pose if this or something.
There was also a lot of energy, a lot of questionable grunting, a lot of questionable moaning. That type of heat was being built too, so that was questionable to say the least.
And at that moment, White Chocolate, were you thinking, what was I thinking being their roommate?
Yes, amen to that.
You know how the connections between, which happens at the table, right? We discover we have more in common than we ever imagined. We discover, didn't everybody have a burn down the kitchen experience?
Yes.
Stacey Bell, our new kitchen, our new community garden captain goddess, is making all these funny comments in the thread about like telling stories about loving spam and other things. It's really, really very playful.
Speaking of spam, Marnita, there's a new vegan spam coming out.
And you know what I got? Okay, so I know you all are down with your. I am a old school vegan cook that doesn't use overly processed things that look like meat. And people be loving on. Do you love my vegan food, veganish?
It's pretty good. Yes, I would recommend it.
So, if you guys wanted one tip tonight, one thing, do we have any questions in the kitchen tonight? Like something we're trying to cook, something you came across this week, any of you in the kitchen that you were wanting to ask a question about vinegar, sugars, salts. Apparently, Decky White Coco would like to know how to make a triple decker PBJ. That's a complicated thing, and he's up deep down for a lesson.
Yeah.
That himself.
Well, Marnita, I'm kind of looking to rebrand. I'm looking to find a meal that I can make that is doable. I just need something that I can make that can give me confidence as a cook. I think just personally, I don't have a lot of confidence in my cooking. So I'm like, oh, I can save money and time by eating PB&J every day. That's a no-brainer. So I would like to know if you have some sort of meal that I can make that would gain me confidence in myself as a cook.
Yes, I have a really easy one, and it's kind of fun, and it's kind of simple, and you can make a vegetarian version of it or a chicken version. So this is something I recommend for people, particularly if you're not a really sophisticated cook, say on a Sunday, you want some healthy food in the house. I grab some zucchini, some carrots, some celery. Think the things that would go in a nice vegetarian soup or a nice like minestrone or chicken noodle soup. and I just dice them. This is not complicated cooking. You figure out the size of the piece you want. There's some good YouTube videos on how to do this. So first of all, you might do 2 zucchini, 2 bell peppers, 3 stalks of celery, some carrots, the kinds of things you'd find in a really good soup. Then you don't even have to make your own stock. I do. I roast my bones and things. But they're all making really good vegan and bone marrow stocks now. They used to make very thin ones, but now they make really good stock that you can just buy made. I'm not going to run you through how to make it. So you have those ingredients. If you wanted a quick chicken noodle or vegetarian soup, you would start your stock, vegetarian or chicken stock, just in a hot pot on the stove. You throw in those vegetables I talked about, and I make enough for the week, as well as a big bag of macaroni, like have it cooked already. It'll take you about 40 minutes on a Saturday or Sunday. I make like a box of like just macaroni noodles, right? Mm-hmm. And then what I do is I throw, so I have my stock, I boil it, I threw my vegetables in. They take about 5 minutes just to cook in it. I pull it off the stove. I put in 1 scoop of those cooked pasta so it doesn't get in the broth and fall apart. And then I throw some, I would buy just a Trader Joe's or a Lund's $5 roast chicken. And you could have 5 days of chicken soup for probably about $25 with about 40 minutes of prep for the whole week. If that sounded like something that would be good. Wanted to make it vegan, I'd add a little extra spice to that broth because tofu is boring. But then you can also use like the meat. I'm even seeing like meatballs out of the, Better Than Beef or whatever it's called. The magic.
Satan. And Impossible Beyond.
Impossible.
Yep.
Impossible. Like they're making meatballs now. So instead of chicken, you could do that with a vegan stock, same vegetables, and throw those meatballs in. And you'd have a beautiful, quick, easy, inexpensive meal for a family or for yourself that you could keep making day after day. So you just do your chopping once, you make your noodles once, you have your meat, and then you could even decide like one day you could throw, if you're up to it, like right now, a couple brands like Trader Joe's has a really great already steamed bag of black lentils. They are amazing and they're great in soup. So instead of having tofu, you could dump a half a package of steamed lentils. Melissa's also has one that's at Cubs and others. Some of those lentils, throw those lentils in your vegan stock, the vegetables, and some macaroni, and you have a nice little quick minestrone. It's easy, it's inexpensive, it's tasty. Want to spice it up a little, add a little red pepper flake, add some interesting spices. You want to make it even more tasty, throw in some great herbs. Tarragon will make it taste a little bit more anisey, fennelly, licoricey, whereas sage will bring out and thyme will bring out more of the flavor of a chicken or kind of lighter notes. I don't know if that's it. What do you think of that as an idea?
I'm all over it. I think you had me when you said that you can make chicken noodle soup for $25 for 5 days. And I was like, that's $5 a day. And and you actually mentioned 40 minutes. And I said, okay, that's 40 minutes for 5 days. That's 8 minutes. Wait, yeah, that's 8 minutes a day. So that has me hooked. I will look to you for guidance on how to spice up my chicken noodle soup, because I know when I make it the first time, it's not going to taste that great, but I'm going to eat it all 5 days. And I'm going to come back to you and I'll be like, hey, Marnita, how can I spice this thing up? How can I?
What we may do? If you want, we could just do a live a Zoom call while we do it, and I could help you the first day you make it.
Yeah. Okay. Sold. We could do that. No problem. My people will talk to your people. I think we can make this happen.
Because you know what? Your people know my people.
Our people know your people very well, like more well than most people know each other during these times.
I say
owned my people, and that was not good.
Right.
Thought I would mention. Well, maybe not your direct people, but you get the idea.
I think our people in
race conversation into this. It is Marnita's table.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm just saying our people of Back Pocket and your people of Marnita's table
I knew that.
get along, and we're all the same pretty much. We're all people.
We're all people. We are people with blue snowflake.
Yeah.
Microphones.
Sponsored by Blue.
Sponsored by Blue Snowball. I love that. And I also have a snowflake, the little guy. So what is one thing we're gonna be logging off soon? You have joined us for our second podcast of Weather Together in conjunction with the Back Pocket Podcast. Our special guests tonight are Coco and Lala. We're going to close with our final thing that we always do. It's called Circle Sharing. What is one thing that you can do to feed your own soul for this week? Coco, what are you doing to feed your soul this week?
You know, I have been making sure I'm getting outside to get some vitamin D. Vitamin D, when you're out there in the sun and you're just getting in, the rays are coming in, it just feels so good. It brings me back to my childhood. I come from a family where there are 7 kids. And I remember we would be out in the yard just playing in the summertime with no worries and no cares. And I would fall asleep outside in the sun, just wake up like the way you're supposed to, just naturally birds singing and stuff. And so I haven't felt that way in a while just because COVID is going on and it can be very, very stressful. Some days are up, some days are down. And so I am going to feed my soul by getting out into the sun whenever it decides to peep out, because all of a sudden it wants to be cloudy this week. So I'm trying to make sure I'm taking advantage when the sun is out. And I am going to pass it to White Chocolate. And his mic is off. We can't hear you.
Get his mic back. Get his mic back. We got to get his mics hot.
And my mic is back.
Hot.
My mic is hot. And thank you, Coco. And speaking of my mic being hot, one thing you can do to feel your soul this week, honestly, I think you just have to compliment someone and let them know that they're burning. They're either burning in the kitchen, they are burning in real life, they are just vibing off the heat. They're burning. I think people need to know that they're burning, and that will feed.
They are burning down the house.
Literally.
Fire, okay? What they say, the roof is on fire.
You really dated yourself on that one, Coco, but you're right.
We'll
need no water. Yeah, we'll need no water.
Let the roof burn. Let the roof burn.
I don't think that's exactly how they say it.
Burn!
Burn, baby.
Well, okay, you guys need to love this. I know we're supposed to be doing Circle Sharing, but sometimes when I call Circle Sharing at in-person Izzy's, we try and get everybody. We'll have 200 people in a circle. We're trying to get everybody. And I have to say, okay, from the windows
to the walls.
And it's always from the windows to the walls. And there's always some group in the room who just wants to do a call and response and realize there's all these old ladies and little kids in the room. But there's always this knowing, from the windows to the wall. Anyway, I thought you'd appreciate that. Who's going next in Circle Sharing? Because we clearly made it kitchen not so confidential, and Circle Sharing is broken down. The social order has broken down.
Order is broken. We have lost all capability. Veganish, how are you doing?
I know I've been waiting to do this. I'm getting my chocolate cake back, and it's never gonna go away. So that's what I'm gonna do. Easy peasy. I'm gonna pass it to Decky White Coco.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Veganish. I really appreciate that. Whew. I am content. I'm having an absolute blast during these times of crisis, and I am working my very best to share that with the world. I think the final words of Krakauer's book, Into the Wild, is happiness is shared. And, if I have a good thought, if I have a positive thought, if I have something that I want to put out there, I'm going to go out of my way to do that. And when I get that one response, maybe that one person who's listening to this podcast at the hour mark hits us up or hits Marnita up or hits up any of us and when you get that one response and says, hey, I really enjoyed your conversation, or hey, I really liked what you had to say here, or hey, you made me laugh. Whatever it is, it's always not necessarily about what you say or what you do, but how you make people feel. And that is what sets my soul on fire. That's when they call me Decky Burns, because I am absolutely burning when that happens. Yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing to feed my soul this week.
Gotta throw it.
All right. Who do I need to throw it to? Coco?
Nope.
Lala?
Yeah.
Yay! What am I going to do to feed my soul this week? I think I'm going to do a random mini concert on Facebook. I think I might do that.
When
So
is it?
I can't tell you. It's random, Coco.
At least tell me.
It's
I can
random.
tell everybody else.
That's the point. It's random. I know, but I'm not telling. So
You'll tell me 5 minutes before you go on.
right. Or after I'm on. And I'm going to pass it to
Have we all gone?
mm.
You're going to pass it back to me so I can say thank you, Coco and Lala. I actually think tonight, Decky, white cocoa, white chocolate, veganish, this was a really fun conversation. Like, I can't believe that Decky and white chocolate had not met Coco and Lala. I think we all have to have a dinner party when we get back in real life. I don't know if you've seen the latest, but it says it looks like COVID does not spread as much outdoors. Like if you do decent social distancing outdoors. So when it heats up this summer, I'm actually going to be doing some grilling, and we have our backyard set up for social distancing. So we have like a center table, and then we sit on one side, like with two tables with our family and like people who, and then we have it set up so everybody is socially distant, but we can all talk. And so I'll have you all over if you're up for it for a social distant happy hour.
Love it. Would love it. You know I'm there. You know I'm there, Auntie. I'm there.
And I love having you there. Thank you, Lala. I acknowledge, I have to say that, you know, as I've aged, I have loved every age that my children were, and I've liked every age I was. When I was young, I was really cute and hot, and I used to like have boys crash into cars just to look at me. And I'm older, I'm more settled now, I'm chubby, I have my children, I have all these wonderful young people, all of you that I get to be with and that you actually seem to value spending time with. And, you know, I have to say that I wish we valued older women more. And allowed us to be whole in our bodies and to realize that we do hold up the sky sometimes. So thank you today from Marnita's table. I want to thank Decky, White Chocolate, Coco, Lala, and my favorite producer, Veganish. Check us out. We post every Thursday morning. What time does it drop, White Chocolate?
10 a.m.
So we'll be on every Thursday morning. You can hear this next Thursday morning. The video will be up here at Facebook. It's an honor. Weather together. Wherever you are, reach out to somebody and help them weather this crisis together. It's been an honor. Thank you so much. Peace out.